Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Richard Harmon about Fakes, which is going to be available in Canada on CBC Gem, rest of the world on Netflix. Welcome back to the show. It's so good to see you, man.
For having me back. It's good to be here.
I mean, I was telling you before we started, I remember when this show was announced, and now it's finally, is it starting to hit you that people are finally going to be able to see it?
I'm so nervous and excited that I've been waiting to get this show out into the world for quite some time, and I really, really am just excited to see what people think about it, and hopefully they love it, and I hope it sticks with them.
There's a lot of components here. There's a lot of elements. There's obviously the slice of life component of it and just kind of seeing all these characters being thrown in all these situations. What was something that kind of drew you towards these characters when you're reading the script specifically?
Well, I think it was the opportunity to play with, especially for my character, it's the lack of continuity that this show allows an actor to play with, because it's told between two unreliable narrators. So every episode switches between one of the two young ladies' perspectives. So it's either Zoe's perspective or Rebecca's perspective. So I knew immediately that when I read it, that's a massive opportunity for me as an actor, especially for being the number 3 and having to be seen by both of them, that I don't have to have any continuity at all. As an actor, which you have to do. That's what part of being a good actor is. You have to have continuity, make sure your character makes sense. I could go absolutely crazy with this guy. He didn't need to make any sense, so long as he made sense in the perspective of the person that I'm playing. So he could be funny sometimes, he could be scary, he can be anything, and you don't need to remain any sort of continuity, which I think was an unbelievable kind of experience as an actor, and one that I don't even know that I'll ever probably get again, because I can't even imagine that situation coming up again.
Well, it's interesting you say that with the different perspectives and everything. One thing I've noticed, and you could really say this about your character, Richard, is it's labeled as a comedy. It is funny. It's got those moments, but like a lot of comedy, and we're not reinventing the wheel here. There's always serious undertones in comedy, and your character specifically is like dealing with a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot happening. We meet this character, so what is going on? And we're like, oh, there's a lot happening here. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious, how do you kind of prepare for it kind of being a little bit like a two-head monster, where there's the comedy component of it, but then there's the, wow, these guys are dealing with a lot of life issues right now component of it?
I don't even think that it was hard to prepare for that, because I think that's just a dream, isn't it? As an actor, sometimes when you're doing such a heavy drama, sometimes you're like, oh, well, can I just do something funny in this scene? And then sometimes when you're doing a comedy strictly, you just go, can we have I would like to get some serious for a second here. And in this one, I never had to ask for either, because I got to play whatever the heck I wanted to and whatever the heck was right in the moment. So sometimes it's trying to make you laugh as an audience member, and sometimes it's trying to make you understand my character for the few times that you get to see him outside of the two young ladies' perspectives. It's important that in my brief period of time that I had, was able to make the audience understand him without the kind of tainted view of either one of the two characters that are seeing it.
By the time this interview is out, the show will be out, so it's not super big spoilers, but I guess this is not really a big spoiler for anything that happens. Actually, maybe it is. Do you own a stuffed duck, or did you go buy yourself a stuffed duck after the show?
I did not. No, I have a stuffed unicorn that I bought when I was golfing from a gas station a couple months ago. Her name is Safety Precaution, and she guards my front door.
I'm wondering if the sales of plushy ducks will go up a little bit. I'm telling you right now, man, there is a scene where it might or might not involve a stuffed animal duck that is a very memeable image. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about a little bit here.
Which one is it?
Oh, it's the one where you're again, spoilers for people that haven't seen it. But it's the one where you're just driving. You have the duck in the passenger seat.
in my passenger seat.
You know,
I
you're
love
telling me that's not memeable? Like, that's a meme.
Oh, 100% it's memeable. There's many memeable moments with the duck. There's me hanging out with him on the keg. That was a memeable moment. There's so many memeable moments between me and the duck. I love the duck. I want to bring the duck back in season 2.
The different perspectives is a little, it's freaky for the audience, man, because you get thrown in and you're like basically forced to be a detective while you're watching it. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, 100%. I think I do, and I think it's our creator David Turco put it perfectly. I'm going to steal something from him. That is, there is in his and Tabia, who's our other writer, it's just two of them. Does an amazing job. That sometimes that we as the actors have to figure out what the truth is when we're doing. Like, I don't need to portray the truth most of the time because neither young lady is telling the truth. They're telling their version of the truth. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But David always says that he's like, if you look at it hard enough, there is an abject truth. That is, he's like, there has to be for us to write. We have to know what the truth is for us as writers. And then you can skew it one way or the other for each character. So there is an abject truth that happens in the show. And you're right, as a detective, an audience member, it's probably a fun thing as an audience member to try to go along and be like, oh, I think I see what the actual truth of the matter is.
Like the first episode concludes, and then, you know, another perspective is kind of hit at you, and you're just like
okay, so it's not just going to be one truth this whole time. Now
you're kind of like, it's I think it's a very strategic move in terms of, well, now you got to watch the whole season.
Yeah, you do. You at least have to watch the second episode, because that's what we've always put it as, is that 1 and 2 are like a couplet, 3 and 4 are a couplet, 5's its own thing, 6 and 7's a couplet, 8 and 9's a couplet, and then 10's its own thing.
Is it fun to play blurry characters? Is it fun to kind of play these, like it, but is it more, I feel like it's challenging, and you seem to be an actor. Last time you came on the show, you enjoyed kind of the challenges, and like you said, the dream of playing all these complex. I mean, playing these blurry characters is just, it's a whole different ballgame, in my opinion.
Yes, I loved it. And you're right that I love a challenge, and this show was a great challenge, and also one that just like the amount of trust that I had on that set from David and all the rest of the crew and the cast meant so much to me. They just let me go absolutely crazy and like go off script and go do weird, crazy things. Cause that's part of my job as Trist, is really to just kind of mess up the day for both the two leads. Is like, whenever they have a set plan that something's going to happen, I'm just coming in and doing something to be like, change of plans. And like, so it was fun for me to be able to try to throw Amelia and Jen off, not only as characters, but as actors, and try to get them on their heels. But I mean, they're both so good. It was hard to kind of get them on their heels.
You also enjoy the different opportunities and different kind of types of content as well. There's so much content out there. You worked on a show that was an NFT show.
Yeah.
Gen Zeros?
Zeros, yes.
Yeah. And there's like, as an actor, I mean, or like a storyteller, I like to refer to, like, do you plan for like working in all these different avenues and different genres and different spaces of work? Like, I feel like it's kind of hard to plan at certain points.
I don't plan. That's the thing. I think a lot of people seem to think that it's that my career is like, why did he choose that? Or like, where's he going? I'm like, I go where the work is. That's what I've always been. That's what I'll always do.
But I mean, like that.
I go where the work is. That's what I do. If someone wants to use my skills, I'm there. That's where
100%. I feel like that gets lost sometimes because, yeah,
it does. It does in everything else. I agree with you. It does, and like I've always said, it's like I'm a mercenary, man. I'm just a hired.
But it's fun. It's fun to dive into these worlds of fakes. It's fun to dive into these worlds of the 100. It's fun. Like, it's like gravy on the mashed potatoes. That it's a fun. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I've chosen to apply my trade in this, which is fun.
We didn't talk about it a little bit last time, because I asked you last time about like storytelling, how you got into it, and your family like are all are storytellers as well. I didn't ask you this part of it. What are those kind of like What are those dinner like table conversations like specifically? Like, does it ever get brought up, and are ideas kind of spitballs about different projects, or is it kind of just like, do you leave it as kind of like the word? I'm just curious about that a little bit.
I wish we left it as that, but it's wildly tiring, and I think all of us would say that it's tiring to be at our dinner table, because it's all that all the four of us love. It's truly what we love. We talk about other things, Notre Dame football. We talk about, that's about it. We talk about film and we talk about Notre Dame football. That's about it. Sometimes diets, like,
Absolutely,
because we'll be like, we should probably get healthier, and we'll be like, yeah, tomorrow.
I mean, those those dinner conversations about kind of throwing ideas out there, they're never going to go anywhere. You know who else is never going anywhere? Murphy from the 100, never going anywhere.
Never going anywhere. There forever.
Is it cool to kind of see the consistency of that character and those moments? Kind of just they're kind of just always going to be in kind of the digital sphere.
I'm very glad that they're. I mean, God, it'd suck to just completely lose them after 7 years. So no, I'm glad people can consistently either revisit it, or we could be, in 10 years after the 100 finishes, and people could find it then. Like, who knows? That's the beauty of where we're at right now, and I'm very glad about it because I'm proud of that character, and I'm proud of everybody.
100%. Fakes is going to drop in Canada on CBC Gem. The rest of the world are going to be able to watch it on Netflix, which is unbelievable. When they get to watch Fakes, what are you hoping they get out of it takeaway wise?
Entertainment.
Besides entertainment. Man, from time to time, an answer like that comes on and it makes me seem like such a bad host, because it's like, no, 100%. I'm going to, you know what? This is going to be, you've just established, this is the Richard Harmon rule. I'm going to ask that question now, besides entertainment.
What do you want me to say? I hope it changes their life. I hope it changes.
You know what? I mean, these characters are going through some struggles, right? Characters make decisions. Am I just answering the question for you, I guess?
Question for me. I hope that people come out of it with their new favorite show, and that they love it and they care about the characters. Hope they resonate in the friendship between Zoe and Rebecca. And I hope they love Tris the most.
Absolutely. I hope those things, and I hope that we see Richard Harmon in more horror movies, because I'm a big fan of your work.
September 9th. It's coming out.
Which one is that?
Margot. I'm so excited. It's like a throwback. It's like a modern twist on like a classic 80s sort of Evil Dead type situation. And it comes out September 9th. Margot. You can buy, rent.
Awesome. No, that's so great. Richard, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. It was so great chatting with you.
It is always amazing, my friend.
Yeah. So yeah, Fakes, CBC Gem, Canada, rest of the world, Netflix. You have an Instagram account and Twitter, all that stuff. It's just your name, right?
Yeah, Richard S. Harmon. Someone took my full name.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Till next time, this is Richard Harmon, who you can catch in Fakes on CBC Gem in Canada and on Netflix worldwide. And PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.